They work.
For a good day at the races at the Valley yesterday, and in the first event, the Puckle Street handicap, the favourite here was Trinket at 7-4.
4 metres away, North Sea Rover, moving up to be second now, looking a threat, followed by Cherie Thor, then Gypsy Jodel, followed by Fairlane Park. In behind them, Deluxe Lad, Balholm Court, Canoe, Andy Bryden, Brett Action. They turn though 200 metres out, and Trinket straightened up by 2 metres to North Sea Rover, who at the moment can't pick up the mare, and 6 metres away, Cherie Thor. Trinket though pulling out plenty, she's 2 metres in front of North Sea Rover. Cherie Thor getting to third, but she breaks through again, Trinket, and she's done a good job by 1.5 metres to North Sea Rover, and she deserves to break through too after being very, very consistent. 4 metres away third was Cherie Thor.
Good performance by the trotter, Trinket 7-4, and favourite North Sea Rover 8-1 and Cherie Thor at 8-1. In the claiming stakes, the second race on the program, Diamond Magic the favourite at 11-8.
In behind them, Dolan Gold, coming off the back of the 350, and Evening Tyros went straight past Diamond Magic and got away by 8 metres. Wide out Kiwi Conference about to get the second, followed by Adios Peerless. In behind them came Dolan Gold, followed by Rutherford Eric, but Evening Tyros is absolutely going to bolt in at the 150. He's 12 metres in front of Diamond Magic. Kiwi Conference going past him, and Adios Peerless and Dolan Gold are all making ground, but Evening Tyros makes it a one-act affair. He strides away and scores by 18 metres. Adios Peerless has run second. 4 metres away third was Dolan Gold, just in
16 metres the winning margin in favour of Evening Taurus at 6s, Adios Peerless 4s, Dolan Gold 80-1, the favourite unplaced Diamond Magic 11-8. In the third, the City of Essendon stakes, the favourite My Lightning Blue at 3s on.
Family Goods 3 wide making ground, 4 wide Supreme Bromac, then Flame and Spark coming one off the fence to be third. In behind them, Mandy's Nipper, Rio Derby, Keenland, and dropping out as Arthur Dunga. Around the turn though at the 250, and My Lightning Blue got away by 6 metres to Devander trying hard. 6 metres away, Flame and Spark, followed by Supreme Bromac. At the 120 though, and the hat-trick coming up for My Lightning Blue. He's too good. He's coming away from Devander and Family Goods, and My Lightning Blue gets home by 8 metres to Devander. 6 metres away, third, Flame and Spark.
And the favourite home, My Lightning Blue at 3s on from Devander 16s, Flame and Spark 33-1, and Arthur Dunga ran last at 100-1. Good on you, Arf. In the fourth, the qualifying stakes, first leg of the quadrella, Adios Moth the favourite at 10-9 on.
Singing wide out, Ataviros began quickly with Alstazer. Adios Moth is going forward, looking for the lead. Eden Van seizing in behind them, followed by Raining Dollar. Then Linmara wider out as Ataviros now heads off Alstazer. Adios Moth angling one off the fence. Eden Vance on the rail, followed by Raining Dollar. In behind them, Waitaki Fella, followed by Gablig. Linmara wide, dropping out to second last for Mark's Mate Hoofbeat, and 4 metres away, Waikari Bill. Along the back straight the first time at the 1650, Ataviros is clear. He slams on the Peyton's brakes by 5 metres to moving up as Adios Moth on the outside. He may take on Ataviros in front. 2 metres away, third is Alstazer. Working up to the one out sitters, Raining Dollar, followed by Eden Vance, who's 3 back on the rail. In behind them came Gablik, followed by Linmara, still caught out wide. Waitaki Fella back on the fence, followed by Hoofbeat Mark's Mate, and 3 metres away, Waikari Bill. On the turn for the bell, Adios Moth now working Ataviros in front. They share the lead by 4 metres to Raining Dollar, having a nice sit back on the rail as Alstazer. Eden Vance 3 back on the fence, followed by Gablik on his outside. Then Hoofbeat the outside of Waitaki Fella. 4 metres away, Waikari Bill, followed by Mark's Mate, and dropping out to the tail is Linmara. At the winning post, a circuit to go. Nothing separating Adios Moth on the outside. He's worked pretty hard in the run, and Ataviros on the inside by 4 metres to Raining Dollar. Alstazer at the moment held up, followed by Eden Vance on his back. Then Gablik on the outside. In behind them, Waitaki Fellow, followed by Hoofbeat. 4 metres away, Waikari Bill, Mark's Mate and Linmara. Along the back, the final time of the 650. And despite sitting outside the leader now, down the back of the 600, Adios Moth drove to the lead by 4 metres to Raining Dollar. Half out of its gear there was Gablik. Alstazer coming one off the fence now and about to get clear if good enough. Ataviros back on the rail, followed by Eden Vance. In behind them, Hoofbeat, followed by Waitaki Fella held up. Then Waikari Bill, Mark's Mate and Linmara. Before the turn though, 300 metres out, it's still Adios Moth by 4 metres to Raining Dollar. Alstazer again switches to the inside, followed by Gablik and Eden Vance wider out, followed by Waitaki Fella. They turn though 200 metres out. Adios Moth is no good thing. He's just in front. Wide out now. Eden Vance has grabbed him. Then Gablick making ground, followed by Waitaki Fella starting to storm home. Eden Vance just in front. Waitaki Fella's coming home a little bit too well on the outside. Waitaki Fella grabs the lead near the line, and Waitaki Fella's got up and wanted a metre to Eden Vance. 4 metres away, third was Waikari Bill, just in front of Raining Dollar. Al Stays didn't have much luck in the run home. Knocking up badly was Adios Moth. Then Marks Made, followed by Lynn Mara. In behind them, Gablick, followed by Hoofbeat. And last after leading was Adaviros.
Waitaki Fella finishing well to take out the first leg of the quadrella at 7-1 from Eden Vance at 15s, Waikari Bill 20-1, Adios Moth the favourite unplaced at 10-9 on. They were the first 4 races from the Valley last night. Back to take a look at the second half of the program after this break. Moonee Valley last night, and the favourite here was the brilliant mare Masso Way at 10-9 as we rejoin Brian Markovic.
Racing. Wide out beginning quickly was Masso Way. She's trying to head them off. She can't do so because Rocky Apollo began quickly from 1. The single file is easing in behind them. Masso Way being hard driven out 3 wide. Now puts its nose in front of the stablemate Scott Baker and Rocky Apollo. 8 metres away Gillian Frost, followed by the single file. In behind them came Haughty Lord, followed by Riseable, Vic Air, Royal Satay, Flyby Boy and Classic Bow. Around the turn the first time, Masso Way on the outside is testing Scott Baker. They're matching strides and working by 6 metres to Rocky Apollo as Masso Way now takes over down the straight the first time, 2 laps out from Scott Baker and Rocky Apollo. Gillian Frost is fourth, 4 metres away, moving up without cover, Riseable. Back on the rail came the single file. 1 out with the sitters, Royal Satay, followed by Vic Air going forward from the tail now 3 wide. Classic Bow third last, and the last pair are Flyby Boy on the inside of Haughty Lord. They slacken off out of the straight the first time. At the 1600 in front, Masso Way by 4 metres. Vic Air works up stylishly on the outside within 2 metres of the leader. On the leader's back now and third is Scott Baker, followed by Riseable, 1 out with the sit. Royal Satay now 3 back on the outside as they drop anchor, followed by Rocky Apollo the fence. 4 metres to Classic Bow, followed by Gillian Frost. In behind them, Haughty Lord, followed by the single file, and 4 metres away, Flyby Boy. 1,250 metres to travel. Masso Way, after working for the first 600 metres, given a breather by 3 metres to Vic Air. On the leader's back and third is Scott Baker, a metre the outside, Riseable with the perfect sit. On its back in turn came Royal Satay, followed by Rocky Apollo the rail. Gillian Frost is 4 back on the fence, followed by Classic Bow. 4 metres away the single file, Haughty Lord, and Flyby Boy back at the tail. Down the straight a lap out, it's still Masso Way, given a breather by 4 metres to Vic Air, sitting up second. On the leader's back and third is Scott Baker, followed by Riseable having a beautiful run. From last now, Flyby Boy going forward. Rocky Apollo 3 back on the rail. Moving up was Royal Satay. Then Classic Bow about to latch onto the back of Flyby Boy. Royal Satay now comes out in front of Flyby Boy, followed by Gillian Frost, Haughty Lord in the single file. Along the back of the 650, and again they quicken up. It's still Masso Way, 2 metres in front of Vic Air, and out 3 wide now Royal Satay making ground and makes a line of 3. Then Classic Bow 3 wide, Flyby Boy 4 wide, 1 off the fence, Riseable held up, followed by Scott Baker. In behind them Rocky Apollo, Gillian Frost, Haughty Lord in the single file. 400 metres out, nothing separating Vic Air on the outside, who may be doing a little bit better than Masso Way at the moment. 2 metres away, Royal Satay. In behind them, Riseable in need of a run, followed by Classic Bow. Then Scott Baker held up, followed by Rocky Apollo, Gillian Frost. They turned 200 metres out, and Vic Air in the centre took over by a metre to Royal Satay, and Classic Bow, the threat on the outside, coming quickly. He's grabbed them in a stride. Classic Bow out wide. He grabbed the lead 80 metres out from Vic Air, boxing on Royal Satay and Riseable. And Classic Bow too good. Classic Bow gets home by a metre to Vic Air. Third placing may have gone to Rocky Apollo. A nose in front of Riseable. Close up in the race was Masso Way. Back in behind them came Gillian Frost, Haughty Lord, the single file. Pulling up quickly Scott Baker. And last was Flyby Boy.
Mark Hayes and Classic Bow combining in the first leg of the double from the Valley last night. 7-1, Vic Air 4s, Rocky Apollo 25s, and the favourite did a bit of work to get to the front, but weakened quite quickly, Masso Way at 10-9. In the third leg of the quadrella race, 6 South Atlas, the favourite at 7-4.
Racing, South Atlas away quickly with Albert Flasher and also Kalim the Chief, but the favourite leads early South Atlas from Albert Flasher. Ben Ty working up on the rail third, followed by Kalim the Chief out 3 wide for a stride. Tightened there was Key Marty out of the straight. It broke up. Switching around her was Chapel James, Lyndall Hanover, Moonee dropped out to second last. And going forward now on the inside is Andrew Prince, 4 pairs back, and just in front of it is Total Joy. Along the back straight of the 1600 and South Atlas in front. He'll take plenty of stoushing by 5 metres to Ben Tyre. A sulky's length away third without cover is Albert Flasher, and working up on the inside Total Joy. Kalimna Chief is 1 out with the sit, followed by Andrew Prince, who's 4 back on the rail. Moving up is Chapel James, 3 pairs back, followed by Key Marty, Lyndall Hanover, and 4 metres away Moonee. South Atlas low clear coming off the back straight the first time, and they slacken right off by 4 metres to Ben Tyre on the inside of Albert Flasher, racing without cover. 1 out with the sitters Kalimna Chief, pulling just a trifle, followed by Total Joy on the rail. In behind them Chapel James having a nice run, followed by Andrew Prince. Moving up on the fences Key Marty, followed by Lyndall Hanover, and 4 metres away back of the tail Moonee. Well, they haven't gone hard, down the straighter circuit to go. Well rated in front of South Atlas, and Mark Hayes going for a double. 3 metres in front of Albert Flasher working. Back on the rail Ben Tyre. 1 out with the sitters the Bolter Kalimna Chief, followed by Total Joy. From last now, Moonee under a good hold is going forward 3 wide. Then Chapel James about to go forward, followed by Andrew Prince, Key Marty and Lyndall Hanover. Out of the straight the final time. Kalimna Chief now goes forward 3 wide. Latching on its back in turn is Chapel James. Moonee caught 3 wide. But South Atlas under a very good hold along the back of the 600. He's 3 metres in front of Albert Flasher, who can't go on, followed by Kalimna Chief out 3 wide. Ben Tyre's held up, followed by Andrew Prince, 1 off the fence. In behind them Chapel James about to go forward 4 wide. He does so now, followed by Moonee. On the rail is Total Joy from Key Marty, and 4 metres away Lyndall Hanover. Approaching the turn now, 300 metres out. South Atlas still going easily, 3 metres in front of Albert Flasher under a lot of pressure. Kalimna Chief under pressure out 3 wide. 4 wide now, Chapel James running home into a placing, followed by Ben Tyre. At the 150 though, and South Atlas bounded away. He's full of running and he's home. He's 6 metres in front of Chapel James, who's hanging on to second from Ben Tyre. And South Atlas gets home easily by 6 metres. Very tight for the minor placings. Ben Tyre may have run second, a nose to Chapel James. In behind them, Lyndall Hanover, followed by Key Marty. Then Total Joy, followed by Andrew Prince, Kalimna Chief, Moonee, and last was Albert Flasher.
Another winner for Mark Hayes. South Atlas 7-4 favourite, Chapel James 4-1, and Ben Tyre 11-2 in the 6th. In race 7, the Mirus of Essendon Stakes, and it was the second leg of the double, the favourite Parlour Royal at 2-1.
Van race began well from 2. It looks like leading from Dale's Donation. Wider out Romeo Gendon with Amana. Easing in behind them Glen Tucky as Van race leads clearly off the back from Amana. Caught out wide for a stride was Hilarious Gift. 1 off the rail Parlour Royal, followed by Christian James. In behind them Kenton Bird, third last from Cam's Joy, and 1 off the fence, and last is Mr. Arden. On the turn the first time, Amana works up on the outside of Van race to be second. 4 metres away, Hilarious Gift out 3 wide, followed by Romeo Gendon with the 1 out sit. Back on the rail is Dale's Donation, followed by Parlour Royal, who's 3 back on the outside. On the fence is Christian James, followed by Kenton Bird, as Hilarious Gift now works up to join Van race out of the straight. Amana now eases to the 1 out sit. Kenton Bird 1 off the fences, 4th last. Trouble there for a stride or 2 out of the straight. Romeo Gendon caught 3 wide for a stride. He now angles back to the 1 out sit as Amana drops on the fence, 3 pairs back for a stride or 2 as they shuffle up. Christian James on the rail, then Parlour Royal, followed by Kenton Bird, Mr. Arden, second last Cam's Joy, and relegated back at the tail Glen Tucky. Along the back once again, a lap and a half to go. It's Van race clear by 6 metres to Hilarious Gift, who's worked pretty hard. On the leader's back is Dale's Donation, followed by Amana. Off the fence to the 1 out sit. Christian James is 3 back on the fence, followed by Parlour Royal. He's now going forward out 3 wide at a lap and a quarter mark, followed by Romeo Gent in the centre. 5 metres away Kenton Bird, followed by Mr. Arden, Cam's Joy, and 3 metres away the fence is Glen Tucky. Around the turn they sweep at the 1,000 metre mark, and Van race is held together by 2 metres to Hilarious Gift, who's worked pretty hard. Parlour Royal out 3 wide is making ground. On the leader's back is Dale's Donation, followed by a man of the centre. 4 metres away Christian James, followed by Romeo Gendon. Going forward now on the back of Parlour Royal. In behind them Kenton Bird, followed by Glen Tucky. Second last Mr. Arden, 1 off the fence and going forward, and 4 metres away Cam's Joy. Out of the straight the final time, towards the 750. It's still Van race held together by 2 metres to Hilarious Gift under pressure. On the leader's back is Dale's Donation, followed by Parlour Royal. He's been 3 wide the last 650 metres. He's still boxing on, though. A man of the centre, followed by Romeo Gendon going forward 4 wide. Glen Tucky going forward off the rail, followed by Christian James held up. Kenton Bird third last, followed by Mr. Arden second last and wide, and 4 metres away Cam's Joy. Off the back though, 400 metres out, it's still Van Race held together, 4 metres Hilarious Gift who can't go on. Parlour Royal out 3 wide, now under pressure, still making ground though. Then Romeo Gendon. Kenton Bird now 4 and 5 wide, making some ground, followed by Mr. Arden, but Van Race bolted away on the turn. Cam's Joy right off the track, followed by Christian James held up. At the 180 though, Van Race is well clear, 6 metres in front, he is stopping though. Kenton Bird slowly but surely picking him up, and Cam's Joy from the clouds are starting to storm home. Van Race in front though, near the line, he has a handy break, and Van Race gets the money, 2.5 metres. Kenton Bird second, a very good run, 3 metres away third Cam's Joy, also a nice effort, so too is Mr. Arden fourth. In behind them, Dale's Donation, followed by Romeo Gendon, then Hilarious Gift, followed by Christian James Glen Tucky. Parlour Royal knocked up second last, and last was Amana.
Margins were 2 metres by 3.5, and Van Race at 4s, Kenton Bird 25s and Cam's Joy 7s. The placings in the 7th event, with the favourite Parlour Royal unplaced at 2s. In the last, the Black and Red Stakes over 1900 metres, Macro Man the favourite at 10-9.
Second, Hanover still by 4 metres. Batgirl out 3 wide, making ground to third. J. Diane now peels off the leader's back, gets within 2 metres of second, Hanover. Then Macro Man, he's about 5 wide and not doing enough at the moment, followed by Sheffield Flood has gone, as J. Diane now draws up to second, Hanover on a turn. Batgirl under pressure, followed by Wonderland and 2-stroke hook to the outside. In the straight of the 180, J. Diane took over 2 metres to second, Hanover. Star Humour tried to bridge the gap, and 2-stroke is late down the outside. J. Diane just in front. Star Humour slowly but surely bridging the gap. J. Diane hanging on, and J. Diane has got home a half head to Star Humour. 4 metres away, maybe Bay Gaze third.
Well, the bookmakers had a good result in the final event. J. Diane at 20-1, Star Humour 40-1, Bay Gaze 15-1. So it was a wipeout for the punters. Trifecta paying over $2,200. The favourite Macro Man unplaced at 10-9. Let's have a look at the doubles last night from Moonee Valley. TRB double 11 Classic Bow and 2 Van Race paid $20 even. The extra double 8 and 7, $44.75. And the quadrella last night at Moonee Valley on the numbers 7, 8, 3 and 2. $494.65. So we hope you found a winner last night at Moonee Valley, and if you didn't, well, hopefully yesterday at the Valley Races or at Greyhound Racing throughout the week. And that brings World of Sport replay to a close for this morning. Keep in mind, World of Sport coming up with Sandy Roberts, and we'll be talking about yesterday's big round of football, where the results were fairly predictable, but the way they came about was quite sensational. And of course, we'll hear a lot more on the last quarter of that much talked about match between Hawthorn and Geelong, and the football panel will be looking at that in detail in World of Sport today. And of course we'll be taking a look at racing too, and indeed all the sporting action from throughout the week. And of course at about 5 minutes after 2 this afternoon, 7 Sport takes you live to the Sydney Cricket Ground for the clash between the Sydney Swans and St Kilda, both sides down the bottom of the ladder, but it's going to be a great day in Sydney, and hope you can join us at 5 after 2 with Peter, Lou and Bob. That's all from World of Sport replay this morning. All my gear comes from Opal Southland. Look forward to seeing you next week. Stand by for World of Sport and Sandy Roberts.
World of Sport replay was another 7 Sport presentation. This